What's up everybody, Super Dirks fan here for an in-depth tour of my Mini Cooper S. This is the 2008 Mini Cooper S that I just picked up a couple of days ago, and a lot of you have been requesting an in-depth tour of this car. I did an in-depth tour of my BRZ when I first got it about 2 years ago, and that video has almost 1 million views at the time of me filming this. I mean, it's a very popular video. Many of you said it helped you tremendously in your buying decision, and a lot of you found the channel through that video, so I wanted to do an in-depth tour of this car as well. And you know, I'm not quite as good at these as Saab Kyle is. Saab Kyle 04, if you like in-depth videos, check out his channel because he is the master. He basically invented these in-depth tours, so I definitely want to give credit where credit is due. I'm going to put my own spin on it a little bit, but it's basically, you know, I'm going to go through the whole car, all the features, run down some of the specs. I'm not going to get quite as detailed as he does, but just kind of give you an in-depth tour of this new Mini here. Alright, so this is the 2008 Mini Cooper S. You know, this is the second year of the R56 generation. So this is the second generation. These ones are turbocharged. The first generation was supercharged. The second generations here are turbocharged, still 1.6 liter engine. This one does 172 horsepower and 177 foot-pounds of torque. There is an overboost function where at certain throttle positions and certain conditions, it'll overboost to 192 foot-pounds of torque. So it's a very torquey car. It feels a lot more torquey than the BRZ did, that's for sure. And you also have less weight with this car, with roughly 2,600 pounds for one of these. So I mean, a very, very lightweight and nimble car. So first things first, let's start with the key here. So have the basic Mini key. So this is, you know, since these are built by BMW, you know, it's got a lot of BMW parts in it. So these are similar to the keys you see on, you know, BMWs of this time period. So it's just, there's no key. The key is actually in this bottom part here if you, you know, you need to pull it out for whenever the battery dies or something. So you have your lock button here, unlock, and then you have the trunk pop, you know, opening the trunk, and the battery is there in the back. So the color is known as Astro Black Metallic, which is a really cool color in direct sunlight, which we kind of have. It's a little bit of a cloudy day. You can see it actually has some like blue flake in it almost. It's a very, very cool color. I like it a lot. I swore to myself I would never ever own a black car because they just show scratches very easily. It's very difficult to maintain, you know, the paint with swirls and all that kind of stuff. But this car being a little bit older car, and it already has its fair share of scrapes and scratches and things like that, it's not in pristine condition. I'm not going to try and keep it in pristine condition. So for that reason alone, I just figured, you know, there's no reason to be OCD about it. You know, yeah, it's not going to be perfect with the paint, but I don't really care. It's just a fun car. I'm going to enjoy it, and I just really love this color combo because I haven't really seen, I mean, you see black Minis with white stripes, but the way that this one has the white roof with the black stripe, you know, kind of had to contrast the white stripe here with a black paint. I thought that was a really cool combo, and I really like this one the way it showed up. It came like this from the dealership with the driving lights in the front, which are very cool. That's a Mini genuine part, and the nice multi-piece wheels as well. Very, very nice. So yeah, Astro Black Metallic is the paint color. And so yeah, let's start with the front end here. So this one has the xenon headlights. I mean, Minis are very customizable, so you can get lots and lots of options for them. It's very a la carte, kind of like the BMWs, since, like I said, they're made by BMW. So you can get standard halogens. This one has the xenons though, and so what you see here is that's where the xenon headlight is housed, and it's projector beam, of course. You see these little dots around here. Those are they also light up as well. It's just a little bit of accent lighting that they do. They were kind of doing it even before Audi and them, with these slight little accent lights here that illuminate whenever the headlight is on as well. You see this little chrome piece here? That is the headlight washer. So whenever you do the windshield washers, whenever you pull them, these also come out and spray the headlights and clean them off. So you definitely don't want to use your windshield wipers, your windshield washers, I mean, if you have a car nice and clean, because this will spray windshield washer fluid all over your headlights and make the car a little bit dirty. But it's very handy in the wintertime. If you have snow buildup or something and your visibility is poor, you can use those and it'll clean off your headlights to make sure that you have a good visibility with the headlights. So that's cool, and I really like, that it has the chrome trim here around the headlight. Just a very, very nice setup here. You have the turn signal bulb down here in the second little lens you see there. Coming down here, you have the fog lights on this car, and then you see this other little part up here. That is where your parking lights would be. If you're just driving around with the parking lights on, that would illuminate, and then this lower half is the fog light itself. Other lights. So this car has, these are optional driving lights from Mini. You can see the little Mini logo there, and just basic halogen bulb, kind of lights, but very cool. Gives a little bit of a rally style look to it. And so yeah, and all these lights can be turned on separately, so you can have whatever lights on you want at whatever time. Very cool. So and then you see there's a little bit of a lip here almost built into the front bumper. You have the painted black, and then you have this black plastic down here, and and you also see, you can see the little intercooler for the turbo is in there. And there's plenty of room there. You can put a larger intercooler in if you're prone to modding your car, but that's where it sits. It's a front mount intercooler, which is very efficient. So you have the nice Mini badge there that I really like the design of that. You have your hood scoop here, which is iconic to the Cooper S's now, and these are functional. You can see that not all of these slats are totally open, but there are little holes in there, so it just leaves a little bit of breathing room for the engine there. It cools off the turbo, which is right up front, which I'll show you later. So that is the front end of the Mini Cooper S. I really love it. It's kind of friendly, but still has a little bit of an aggressive stance, especially with those rally lights, like I said. And I just really like the way the front end looks on this car. Alright, so coming along to the side of the car here, we have these, again, optional wheels. These are multi-piece, and I love the little rivets that you see in them. Very, very cool design with this like machined chrome kind of lip on it. And then you have obviously the silver painted wheel part here. Very, very nice. And this one in particular is running on some Bridgestone Potenza RE11s, which are these. The size is also 205 45 R17. Just a very small tire, so that's very nice as far as replacement costs for tires. If you go through tires a lot, this car, they're very cheap, and it also should make it pretty good in the snow, because obviously the skinnier the tires in the snow, the better off you are. So when I put snow tires on here in the winter, I'm sure it'll be very good, because it's very, very skinny tires, cut through the snow really well. So yeah, I really like it. You can see the nice pretty healthy sized brakes. I mean, these wheels aren't large. Like I said, there's 17-inch wheels on this car. So it doesn't take much to fill in the hole in the wheel there, but the brakes are pretty big size for a car that's this small. The car stops very, very well. Okay, so coming up here, you have a nice little S badge, obviously only on the Mini Cooper S's, and has this little chrome piece with a little vent here, and obviously that's your turn signal bulb there. And it's nice that that's also like a white, with just the orange for the bulb. Sometimes, these will be totally orange, the whole lens is orange, and that wouldn't look quite as good. Matches better with, the white mirrors and everything, just kind of goes well on this car. You have your side mirrors here, which are white, which are very cool. And then you have your door handle here, which is chrome, which I really like. And then you'll see there's a little button. You have to squeeze this to open it up. You don't pull it, you have to squeeze, and it's actually got a good amount of resistance. My 16-year-old sister actually has to use 2 hands to open this door. It's very solid. It's a very heavy door too. I mean, these things feel like they're little mini tanks. I really love the build quality in these cars. It's very, very impressive. Coming up here, you can see the 2 moonroofs that this car has. Now this one will only slide back. This one is fixed in place, but it's still nice to have 2 of them, and I'll show how they open and things like that whenever I hop inside the car. But it's really nice, and I love how clean it's set up with that look. And coming along here, the rest of the side of the car. It's a pretty short car, but so yeah, your gas cap here, which is chrome as well. Very nice retro Q that I like, and it's not locked or anything. It just opens up like that. And typical BMW gas cap. As you can see there, it says it takes premium 91 or higher octane here in America. And yeah, so and then this little hole here is where you put this gas cap. You rest it in there whenever you're filling up. And yeah, so let's come along to the back of the car here. So we'll start at the top and work our way down. So it has this nice little spoiler that is you know, very sporty looking. There's some cool aftermarket ones, but I really like this stock one a lot, actually. You know, it's nothing crazy, but it gives it a nice little bit of aggressive appearance over a standard Cooper. I like that a lot. You have your upper brake light up here, you know, for 18-wheelers and stuff like that, would have trouble seeing these lower tail lights. You have your rear windshield wiper that also sprays as well, so that's nice, you know. So there is, you know, since this is a hatchback, it does get some buildup of water sometimes on the back here, so it's nice to have the wiper that's fully functional. And then you have the taillights here, which vary from year to year. So the 2008s, they have the red, obviously, for the brake, and you have the white lens here for your turn signal. You can see the orange bulb that's in there as well. Your reverse light is in here, so when you put the reverse lights on, that is what illuminates. And this car also has rear fog lights as well. So, you know, that's something that's nice as well for a safety feature. Whenever it's really foggy and hard to see, that'll illuminate extra brightly so that people can see you as they're behind you. You have your reflectors down here, and this nice little grille here. It kind of mirrors the front end. Another reflector over here, and then you have the two exhaust tips there, which I just like the design of that in the center there. That's how you can always, if it's debadged or something, that's one way you can tell it's an S model over the standard one is the center exhaust there. It's very cool, and that's unique to the Cooper S's. And yeah, so it's really compact dimensions, very small little car, not a whole lot to go over here on the exterior. But yeah, it's a very nice little car. I really love the size of it. It's really cool for zipping in and out of traffic and things like that. Very easy to maneuver, and I like it a lot. So let's step inside and check out the interior. Alright, so this car has a lot of options again on the interior. So this has the anthracite package, which gives you the dark headliner, and you know, it gives you the nice piano black materials here on the doors and on the interior. I'll show you here in a minute. So we'll just start with the door here. You have the lock up here. This is like a hard plastic. It's kind of squeaky, rattly, not the best quality here as far as fit and finish goes, but yeah, that's, you know, part of it is because it's a used car, and also that's just the way these Minis seemed to be back then. Gives it some character, I suppose. So then you have a little storage space down here to fit some maps or something. Not big enough for any bottles or anything, but my sunglass cases will fit in there. This little Sony Handycam I'm using actually fits in there just barely. So it's pretty useful for things like that. And then you'll see your mirror adjustment is here, and you know, you just move it over for whichever mirror you want to use, and you know, you can just push it up and down and adjust your mirrors that way. And this car just has the basic stereo system. It doesn't have the Harman Kardon or anything like that. But it does have a good array of speakers. So you have a speaker here, you have another speaker down here, and then as you hop inside, you'll see that there's also some little speakers here at the bottom of the A-pillars. So let's start it up, and that'll show you all the interior features. So you know, this one also, this doesn't have the audio package, but as you can see, it does have Sirius satellite radio. So whoever spec'd this car out wanted satellite radio, but didn't want to pay whatever the price was for the audio package. I think it was around $1,200 to have it integrated into the stereo here. So they just decided to get this little receiver here that powers on with the car. It's hardwired in, and it gets the job done. You know, it gives you your satellite radio, but it's not obviously quite as polished as it would be if it was just built into the head unit here. So, starting procedure. To start this car up, you just have the key here, and you'll see this little slot. You just slide into this slot. There's a little engine start button here. Obviously, foot on the clutch, and it turns on here. little chimes to tell you different things. Alright, let's get the air conditioning going a little bit. It's a warm day here. Alright, so I'll show you guys everything on the inside here. So first, this big talk in the middle. Nice tachometer. I really like the style of it. I just, center mounted talk's very cool. And so yeah, it has about a 6,500 RPM red line, and gives you some information here as well. The odometer, trip odometer there gives me my outside temperature, speedometer there, and that's something that's totally configurable. So what you can do to change the information on here is you'll see there's this little stalk here, and there's this little button on the end of the stalk that you can see here. So you just press that, and it scrolls through things. So if you don't have the miles per hour displayed in the center thing, any of these other functions that it'll show you, then you'll just have the 61 degrees there. You'll have the temperature and the time instead. So you can have it so it's just showing you how many miles you have until the tank is empty. You can do your average miles per gallon, your current miles per gallon at any given point in time. Right now we're getting 0, obviously, because we're standing still. Average speed, which is cool. If you're doing like rallies or something, you can reset that and get an average speed, so you know what speed you're going at and things like that. That's for your current speed. And then this goes into setting your info and everything. So this is, you can do an engine system check, so it'll check everything over. There's a service info check, so you can see, it'll keep track of like your brake service and your oil changes, things like that. And so you can scroll through that and see how many miles you have left till you need to do a certain service. And after a while, it just goes out of that mode, and you just hold this little button in to get to that. And then anytime you want to select anything, you just hold that little button in again. Tire pressure monitoring, which this car currently has the tire pressure monitoring light on. I just have to get a sensor replaced. That's something that came with a car like that. I just have to take it to the dealer. They'll fix it for free. And it'll give you, you can set all your date and time and all that kind of stuff. And then home, just hold that in, and it takes you back to where you were before. So I'll reset it to what I have it on, which is the current miles per hour, where you just let it sit there for a second, then it puts it up there and gives me my temperature. That's how I like it. You'll also see this little knob here. This adjusts your interior lights as far as how bright you want, the dash lights. And then the other button over here is to reset the trip odometer. So some of the information that will be displayed here, as you can see, the handbrake light is on, because I have the handbrake on, obviously. The one below that is the turn signal for the left, turn signal for the right's on that side. Above here you have the ABS light that would come on if you had an issue with that. High beam light is there. That is for your traction control light. That'll flash whenever your traction control is working. And so that's all the information in there, and then all your other information is over here on the speedometer, which is about the size of a dinner plate. I really love that design. That's obviously a retro Q, and I just think it's extremely cool. Like I said, you have your speed displayed in here, but it's nice to also have it up here. Unless you have passengers that are nervous if you drive fast or something, then you might not like having them know your speed. But aside from that, I think it's very cool. So 150 mile per hour speedometer, obviously. You have your gas gauge there, so it just, obviously if it was full, all these lights would be illuminated. Whenever it gets to 2 ticks or lower, this actually turns red, as well as notifying you in the middle of the tachometer there. It'll let you know that your gas is low. So that's just, again, a different way to display your gas tank. That's just cool, I think. So like I said, tire pressure monitoring light here is on. Other lights here, so you have this one here for your cruise control. Next one up is your check engine light. The one above that is the airbag light. The one above that is blacked out. I don't think that does anything. And then you have the illuminate indicator lights here for your front and rear fog lights. So depending on which ones you have on, those will illuminate as well. You have your seatbelt light on up there. And then this is your radio. So this is all the radio controls and everything right here on the bottom of the speedometer. Down here is all your climate controls and stuff. So we'll start with the radio though here first. So whenever nothing's on, it just displays the time and the date. And so the way you navigate through here is, depending on what you want to do. So if you want to turn on audio, for example, I can turn on the tuner here. And I have it off because I can't really play any music because there's always copyrighted stuff on the radio, and YouTube doesn't like copyrighted music, so we'll stick to leaving the radio off. The audio quality in here is pretty good though. You know, this, like I said, is a standard system, but it still has, you know, a good amount of speakers. You have 6 up front here, and then you have 2 in the back, and so, I mean, it gives it a really nice audio experience, especially for a car that's this small. It doesn't take a lot of wattage to really give you a good sound, and so I actually am pretty impressed with the stock stereo. I'm quite surprised at just how good it is. And I've only been listening to radio and satellite radio. I haven't even directly plugged in an auxiliary or USB or anything like that yet. So, I mean, pretty impressive for just standard radio. So anyway, coming along to the radio here, it'll display the frequency, for example, your different presets, and it'll also display, like, for example, this is the top 40 station. It'll play top 40 and, you know, scroll through you know, the song info and things like that. It's the RDS, which is pretty cool that it has all that. And then these little buttons, you know, correspond to each individual thing up here. So, you know, if I want to get to AM, then I hit that. I go back to FM, I hit that. This little back button over here always takes you out of whatever you're in. So if I hit that audio button, it'll scroll through different modes, or I can just go back and I can select them all here. So that's the radio, CD, USB, and auxiliary. If this car did have satellite radio with the audio package, then you would also have a satellite option here, and so this one doesn't have that, so these are the only 4 options that you get. So that is all of that. Go back to tuner here. So if you want to control the audio settings, you can control your bass, all that kind of stuff. You just click on whichever one and, you know, pump it up or down, whatever you want to do. Same goes for all of these. So that's how the audio system works. Pretty straightforward. You can also manually tune by hitting the M button here, and then you just hit these little left and right arrows and tune it manually yourself. If you wanted to set a radio station, you would just tune it to a frequency and then hold in whichever preset you want to set it to, and that's how you do that. And then menu over here, this will give you your different options. So the first one we'll go into here is phone. It has my iPhone synced up here through Bluetooth. If you want to sync up a new Bluetooth device, you hit this little Bluetooth button here and you can pair or delete this one. And it also gives you some different you know, functions, so you can do your last 8 calls, some of your missed calls, you can just go through there. That's hit or miss. I mean, again, this is 2008 technology. It's honestly just quicker to use your phone, I think, but it's nice to have the controls through here if you really like doing it that way and don't want to play around with your phone. Computer here tells you the same information that you have up in the tachometer, and then hit the back button again. Configuration, again, this is just, you know, you want your distance displayed in miles or kilometers, all that kind of stuff. And then you have Mini here, which gives you, you know, telephone numbers to call and, you know, things like that if you need roadside assistance and all that good stuff. This is the phone button here to hang up and receive calls, and then down here it just takes you back to the basic settings. So yeah, that's it for the audio controls. A lot more simpler than the BRZ's touchscreen with the navigation and everything. Very straightforward and easy to use. Other buttons though, you know, in regards to the radio, is you do have steering wheel mounted buttons here. So this gives your volume up and down and skip tracks back and forth. You have voice commands. It'll do basic voice command functions for phone and things like that. Again, 2008 technology. I would just hit a button and do it myself, but it's, you know, cool that they they have the voice commands there if you want. This is to hang up and receive phone calls. Right side here is for your cruise control, to set it, to increase your speed up or down, turn it on and off. Again, very straightforward. You have the airbag here with a nice little mini badge, 3-spoke wheel. And this one isn't the real leather, it's just you know, the leatherette wrapping. These seats also are the leatherette seats here, but they are very nice and comfortable. I actually think I slightly prefer them to the leather. I think they wear better and don't get worn out quite as fast. So other functions here. So you see, I can just show you guys the vents here. The way the vents work, it's pretty straightforward. You just move them around as you please, and then if you want to close them, you turn it to the right there and you twist it to the left to open it all the way up. And yeah, so that's how that works. This is the little button for the driving lights. Like I said, that was kind of a factory installed option, but it, you know, isn't integrated into the other thing, so they just put it up here. So it'll illuminate green. It's kind of hard to see because it's dark, but that'll turn them on and off. And then You have your headlight and turn signal switch stock here. So like I said, this little button here is always to control the stuff in the talk. And then turn your headlights, that's for the parking lights, and then that is for the headlights. You'd obviously push it forward and you'd see the high beams illuminate. And then if you just want to flash them, you just pull it back and it'll just flash them quickly. And let's go ahead and turn those back off. And then, you know, obviously just down. And these BMWs, you can configure this, so you can do the quick taps. So like I could just tap this down, and instead of it just doing it once like it just did, you could have it so that it would do 3 clicks for a lane change. I personally like doing it myself, so you know, I'll just hold it down if I want to just do it a certain amount of time, and then you just hold it down till it clicks, and then that leaves them on. Obviously, you just flick it up a little bit to turn them off. If you flick it up too far, then this one will turn on automatically. Sometimes if you're new to driving Minis or BMWs, that throws you off a little bit. But so that's how that works. Very easy to get used to, though. Right side here is for your windshield wipers and all that good stuff. So if you want to spray, you know, the windshield washer fluid, that's how you do that. You can also, this is for the rear wiper. I just washed the car, so I'm not going to actually turn these on and demonstrate for you guys. But this car obviously does have the rear wiper, like I mentioned earlier. So this would turn it up, and then obviously if you want to actually wash it, you turn it up again. And then as far as the windshield wipers go, if you just want to have it do it one quick wipe, you just push it down. So coming along to the rest of the center console here, you can see that's where the CD drive is. This is the Boost CD, which is the bass stereo. Has the eject button over here, and yeah, that's where the CD goes. This is your volume knob. You turn it up and down. Like I said, there's also the steering wheel controls over here, but you can also do it right there, and that also turns on the radio if you you know, want to turn that on. Coming down here, this car has the automatic climate control, which is again another option. So you have, this is adjust your fan speed. You just push this up or down, and fan speed goes up and down. This other one over here is for your temperature. It is in 2s, so it's always an even number, and that adjusts your temperature accordingly, and then it'll, you know, do the different things. So you have your auto climate control here. That's gonna, you know, do whatever it needs to do to get it at the temperature that you have selected. And then if you want to turn off the whole system itself, you just go like that and just turn the fan speed twice, you know, all the way down. This is for your recycling, max AC, and then up here you have, you know, if you want to specify which vents you want to work, that is for obviously the defroster vent on the top there. That's for the front vents up here, and then you have your floor vent. And so yeah, we'll go ahead and turn that back on a little bit. And then it's a blackout button there. This one is for your rear defroster, and then you have your air conditioning button down here, and that's for your front defroster. So if you hit that, then it'll, like I said, activate that one up here, which is this here, and you know, get that defrosted nicely if that's what you want to do. Go ahead and turn that back off. So that's basically all that. So it's very easy to use, very straightforward once you've figured it out. Coming along to lower toggle switches here, so you have, this car has the cold weather package, which gives you the heated seats. So you just hit that once and it turns on full power, full heat, and then you hit it again for 2, hit it again for 1, and then hit it again to turn it off completely. And that's nice because it actually stays on, like it remembers where you last left it. So if you know, have the heated seats on whenever you got out of the car, you turn the car off, you come back, it'll be at the same position whenever you turn it back on. So that's nice. I always like, you know, instead of having to hit it a million times every time you get in and out of the car, it's nice to just have that, remember it. This is for your window switches, so it's auto up, or I mean auto down, I mean. So you hit that, and it goes down, and then it's auto up as well, and it goes up. And so, and then you just want to do a little bit, you just, you know, kind of do little movements here, and it'll, it's auto, so like I said, it's kind of tricky to just adjust it slightly, but that's how you do that. This is for your front fog lights and the front, this is your unlock and lock button, so you push it down to lock, push it up to unlock. That's your rear fog light, passenger window there. Coming down here, you have, that's where your auxiliary jack is, and you have a little USB port here as well. You know, if you had an iPhone with the cable, you can, plug that in, and that would occupy both spaces. This USB port, though, I have an iPhone 5 with the new cables. It doesn't recognize it as an iPhone, so that just charges it, but it doesn't actually play through the USB. You could also put a thumb drive in there, though. That works. Things like that work pretty well from what I hear. You have a nice little cubby down here. You fit all kinds of good stuff in there. This is your power outlet / cigarette lighter if you smoke, and then you have 2 cup holders here with these nice little rubber stops that kind of hold your drink in place. That's nice to have, that way they don't go sliding all over the place. This is where you actually find the sport and DSC off buttons. So you hit the sport mode, and sport mode, what it does in this car is it gives you a heavier steering weight, and it also gives you quicker throttle response, and it also is a little more lenient on the traction control and stability control system, so that it'll still make sure you don't like crash, but it'll let you get a little bit looser than normal. DSC off turns off the stability control completely. That's if you're at the track or whatever, things like that. And so yeah, that's how those work. Obviously this is the manual, so you can see the gear shifter here. This car, I'll show you the pedals here while I'm putting in the clutch. Metal pedals, very nice. I like the way those look and feel. The clutch is a little bit heavier than the BRZ though, so it actually gives you somewhat a little bit of a leg workout if you're not used to it. So first, second, third, fourth, nice and notchy, feels pretty good. Reverse is all the way over, you see a click, and then up, and that'll put you into reverse, and you just pull it out, and that's neutral. And you see it has a nice little chrome trim ring here as well. That's nice. And little cubby here. This is your e-brake, of course. You just hit that little button and go down or up. This car has the optional armrest, which is very nice to have in this car as well. And that'll push up out of the way if you don't want it. And then it also has a little bit of storage in here, so that slides back, and you have a little cubby here to fit a phone, small little things like that, a little package of mints or something. Nothing too much, but it is nice to have a little bit of additional storage there as well. Okay, so coming up to the upper portion here, you have your rearview mirror, obviously, and to put, dim it for the night mode, you just turn this little knob here to, dim it. Up here you have some more toggle switches. This one is for your reading light on this side, the reading light for the passengers on that side. This is for your dome light here, so that turns that on and off. This one controls your moonroof. So like I said, this car has a nice big moonroof, 2 of them, but like I said, that rear one only vents. It doesn't slide back, obviously, because there's nowhere for it to really slide back to. Like I said, all you do is you just hit that and it'll vent. And so you can see that one's vented, and that one back there is vented as well. And then you just push it again, and it goes all the way back and slides over top of that one, and then this one is totally open. And you see there's a little like fly catcher thing, so it also prevents wind buffeting, things like that. And then you just hold it to close it. It's not automatic, unfortunately, so you have to hold it, and then it closes. And I turned the headlights on so you guys can see this last switch here. This is for your ambient lighting. You can see those little orange lights there. You can change the color of those, so it'll cycle through. It's on orange right now. You can switch through to blue and purple, and it'll do any of the RGB arrays of color. That's blue, that's all the way. That's pink, purple, and yellow and green. And then goes all the way back to the orange, which is why I like it. Matches the interior lights. And so the places where you see that, like I said, you have these 2 little beams here that shoot down onto your legs and everything down here. It's actually really nice at night. You guys will see eventually, if you subscribe and follow the channel, you'll see some night videos, and you'll see the way the ambient lighting works. It also has little lights up here that you can barely see. So that lights up. It also lights up with inside of the doors here. So at night, like I said, it just really gives it a nice feel. I know that the BMWs of this era, the E92 BMWs, they also have that same feature, and it's just really nice. I love that a lot. So we'll go ahead and turn off the headlights again. But that's what that last switch is for up there. Mirrors, so it has the little mirrors there and illumination. And this obviously comes out. It's very tough, but it does come out. And then pops back in. And you have another one over here because of the size of this car. So, you know, and this one is fixed. It just goes up and down. And that's it. Passenger one also has a illuminated vanity mirror as well. So that's nice. You know, passengers like doing makeup at night, things like that. So that's nice to have. And other things while we're looking up here in this headliner, this car has the side curtain airbags. You see an airbag thing there. It has the curtains as well as the seat mounted airbags that you see in the seats. So 2 side airbags, very nice and safe. That's one of the main reasons why I really like this car so much. It's a very safe car that was within my budget and also very fun. So there's seat belts, of course. It's a little bit of a reach if you have your seat a little bit farther up like I do. I wish there was something to maybe hold it here, but there isn't. Yeah, so that's that. Like I said, this black piano black treatment here. And so that's everything for the front seats, really. The last little thing I can show you are the other 2 little storage cubbies this car has. So you have your glove box, you press that, and this opens up, and you have all your stuff in there. And then you press this, and that exposes another little thing. You can fit some CDs in there. Alright, so let's turn the car off and check out the back seat. Turn the car off, same as starting it. You just hit the stop start button here. Little gas light does its little dance, and it'll give you a little chime to let you know the key is in the ignition. You just push on it and pull it out. Let's check out the back seat. So before we actually hop into the back seat, I'll show you a few other things here while the doors open. You have the nice little metal kick plate here. It says, you know, Mini Cooper S, like that. For your seat adjustments here, this actually goes up and down, so you can, you know, raise the seat or lower it as you see fit. You have the bar here, manual adjustability, you know, for the seats. You pull that to go forward and backwards, and then you have the little switch over here, and you pull that up, and that is how you do the front, you know, the seat back to push it forward and backwards. I really like these seats. Like I said, these are the leatherette seats, and so it has some good bolsters here. You know, this part here is perforated, the sides and the middle, and then you have just the standard leatherette here, the seat back, and a very nice seat. It has adjustable headrest. You can go up and down with those if you like. So to gain access to the back seat here, there's this little lever, and you just pull that, and it just slides forward automatically. Very nice and easy. You have the map pockets here in the back, and a good amount of space back here. To be perfectly honest, my friend has a 2010 Cooper S, which is the same size, same car, and I actually rode back there for a whole day trip, and it was totally fine. I had, you know, plenty of room. It was actually quite comfortable. So, you know, like I said, obviously seat 2 back here, won't sit a third. You see the speaker grill here, and there's actually a little storage space there as well if your passengers want to put stuff back here. But yeah, let's hop in the back. And so with my seat in the position it's always in, I'm about 5'9", and so the seat is back in its normal position for a 5'9" driver, and I'm sitting back here, 5'9", and look at all the legroom I have. I mean, it's a good amount of legroom here, and that's what I mean. It's actually really spacious. A huge improvement over the BRZ. Can make it a lot easier to carry people around in this car. And like I said, it's very easy to get in and out of the back seat. So I mean, you know, I don't know if I'd want to, you know, put a kid back here all the time, like, you know, a baby or something. You know, getting a baby carrier back here would be a little bit more of a pain. But as far as throwing kids or adults back here, I mean, you can drive around with college buddies in this car all day. It's very nice and accommodating as far as rear seat space. It even has a cup holder here for a backseat occupant, and like I said, really comfortable seats. It has a little bit of you know, kind of bolstering here to hold you in. You have a little nice elbow rest here, and it's also really nice for taking in scenery because this huge window here obviously is really nice, and so I mean, very good visibility out for the rear passengers as well. So if you're going sightseeing, you even have the rear moonroof, like I said. So I mean, really just a really good view with this car. You just see everything really well. I like that a lot. Also, you see it has another airbag back here, so you know, curtains extend all the way to the back here, so that's great as well to protect your rear passengers. And That's it for the back seat, but like I said, it's very, very spacious. So I mean, even this one is back a little bit more than this one is. So if you had taller people, I mean, like I said, I could probably put this seat back another, I have a good 3 inches here before I would start to feel cramped. And you know, there's some hardware here underneath the seat, so you can't slide your feet up too far, but you can slide them in there a little bit. So that's, you know, like I said, it's very accommodating. I was really impressed with the back seat in this car. It's much roomier in here than you would think. And as far as headspace goes, so I'll spin the camera around. I'm, like I said, 5'9", and I still have a good amount of headroom here. So, like I said, since the car is very boxy and stuff, it's very, very easy to fit in here. And yeah, very impressive back seat for sure. So let's check out under the bonnet here. I'll show you some of the engine stuff, and then we can also check out the trunk as well. So the hood latch, you know, pulls up a little bit, and then it's right around here. As far as if you're ever looking for the hood latch on a Mini, it's right there. Just push it up, and there's hood dampers, so it stays up on its own, which is nice. Unlike the R53s, the R56s, the headlights are fixed. You just have these cool little holes in the hood there, and yeah, so this is the engine. It's a 1.6 liter inline engine with a turbo. Like I said, does 172 horsepower, 177 foot-pounds of torque. So it's, yeah, it's, you know, very compact dimensions, very compact styling. So you have your intake box is up here, and you can see the turbo is mounted right up front here. And small turbo, but you don't need a lot for 1.6 liter engine. You know, it's just enough to fit in there, nice and compact, and has a little bit of heat shielding around it. And so yeah, that's all that, guys. So not a whole lot going on here in the engine. You know, it's a pretty straightforward inline 4, and with a little turbo on the front of it. So, and like I said, you'll be able to see here possibly the holes in the hood scoop, and it doesn't really go into anything. It's not like a Subaru WRX where there's a big intercooler here or anything. It's just meant to cool off the engine bay a little bit, you know. So and like I said, not all those holes are open. It's just a few of them because you don't want to drown this if it's super rainy. But it is nice just to kind of have a little bit of ventilation in addition, you know, because it is turbocharged, and that turbocharger gets really hot. So it's nice to you know, give it some extra ventilation. All right, so coming along to the trunk, the hatch. The way you open this, there's a little, you can kind of see it here, there's a little button you just push up on, and it opens up. And you know, not a ton of space obviously because it's a small car, but it's enough. I've noticed, you know, you can fit some suitcases vertically, just kind of put them standing upright. You can fit 2 of those probably, and that fits fine. And just to give you, here's my tripod, just to give you a little bit of an idea of the size and the scale of everything in here. Pull up on this, and there's your tools for jacking. This car doesn't have a spare tire or anything like that, but it does have a jack and some tools. You can swap tires. You also have another power outlet here in the back, and it has this nice little cargo cover, and it kind of, so no one can really peer in and see what you have back here. And these seats do fold down, both of them, so if you want additional storage space, it's very easy. Just push that forward, and then you have a large amount of space. You can fit a lot of stuff in there. I've fit an exhaust system. You know, you could easily fit, you know, 4 wheels and tires in here, obviously, things like that. So it's very spacious and roomy for that kind of stuff. And it's a little bit tricky to get these up. You just kind of put your finger into that space there, and they go up and lock it in place automatically. Nice and easy. Very straightforward and easy to use. So you can fold down those rear seats without any hassle, and have as much cargo space as you want. Yeah, so that's basically the whole car, guys. Like I said, it's a small car, not a whole lot to go over, not a lot of high-tech stuff. It's pretty straightforward, basic technology, but I like that. You know, I had the navigation in the BRZ. I felt like I kind of got a little bit reliant on navigation and stuff. I'm looking forward to kind of figuring out where I'm at on my own and stuff in this. Obviously, I still have a smartphone, so I can you know, use GPS if I absolutely need it. But it's kind of refreshing just to go back to basics with a simpler car. So yeah, you know, I definitely miss the BRZ, but this is definitely a fun little car. I've always loved minis, always kind of secretly wanted one anyway. I always liked them a lot. My one good friend has one, and I really loved his. I did a review of his, so if you're interested in seeing a driving review of a Mini Cooper S, you can check that out on my channel. But yeah, it's a very nice little car. So yeah guys, that's an in-depth tour of my 2008 Mini Cooper S. Definitely be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more videos of this car. You know, if you're just watching this as the first video from my channel, definitely subscribe for more Mini stuff. I'm excited to explore the Mini community and, you know, kind of learn more about them, because I really don't know a whole lot. So gonna learn more about them, and I do weekly updates on this car, so I'll show you my ownership experience with them. Like you probably saw on the odometer, mine has 47,000 miles on it, so not super high miles, but you know, some people have said these are unreliable, and I just have been owning it for less than a week so far. But from what I hear, I've heard mixed reviews. Some people say they're good, they're fine. Other people say they're terrible. So definitely subscribe if you're interested to see, and follow along with me to see how the reliability is on this car. But I'm definitely looking forward to driving. It's gonna be a really fun car. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care.